So something you should know is whenever you have a sector or a slice of a circle like this, so you have some slice of a circle and the angle is theta. So for the whole circle, the angle is 2 pi. But you can have a slice with angle theta. And now the question is, what is the arc length of this arc? So I call it S. And what is the area of this region, this slice? So the arc length S
1/2 times theta times r squared.
Wait, just yeah, and also the radius. Thank you, Alan. The radius is r. Okay, so but I'm talking about arc length, not the area. So what is the length of the whole circle?
Whole circle. Pi r.
Is it pi
Right.
r?
2 pi r. 2 pi r.
2 pi r. That is for the whole circle. But because here you have the angle is only theta, so you have to divide theta by 2 pi and then multiply it by this, right? So 2 pi r is for the whole circle. But here we have only theta part. So it's times theta over 2 pi. So that means it's equal to what?
Equal to 2 pi cancel out r times beta.
R times theta.
R beta. Yeah.
So the arc length is r theta. How about now the area? So the area is, so the area of the whole circle is pi r squared. But again here, we have only this slice. So you have to multiply it by theta over 2 pi, which is equal to 1/2 of, as you said, Alan, 1/2 of theta times r squared. Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Why we have to multiply by beta over 2 pi? What does that mean?
But that's because that's the proportion of the whole thing.
Proportion.
Yeah. That's the
2 pi
ratio.
is 2 pi is 360.
Yeah, 2
And
pi is the whole circle.
oh,
Yeah, it's 360 degrees.
so we get beta over 2 pi, we get the ratio of theta in this entire circle.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So the arc length is r theta. And the area is 1/2 of theta r squared. Okay.
Okay.
And something important we discussed is that we know that if you have a right triangle, like this. So, and imagine that this is theta. And the radius, for the unit circle, the radius is 1, but you can have radius like r in general. And I call this the opposite side y and the adjacent side x. So in a right triangle, y, the side y is said to be the opposite. The side x is said to be the adjacent, and r is the hypotenuse. So you should know this terminology, okay? Hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. Okay, so in this setting, we know that sine of theta is equal to y divided by r. And cosine of theta is equal to x divided by r, right? So some important observation is that because x and y are less than, since x is less than or equal to r, and y is also less than or equal to r, that means what? That means both sine theta and cosine theta are between -1 and 1. Also cosine. So remember this, the values of sine and cosine are in the interval -1 to 1. So sine and cosine cannot have values like 2, 10, or -4. They're always between -1 and 1. This is very super important. Okay, guys?
If the radius is 1.
For any, no, for any theta, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
For any theta, that's always true, no matter what the radius is. Because x and y are always less than r, or actually between r and -r, more precisely. So another observation is that if I make a complement of this triangle, something like this, and I call this angle alpha, so this means this angle is also alpha, and this angle is theta, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at this new setting, so what is sine of, for this new triangle, what is sine of alpha? Sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So I write it here. So it's equal to what?
X over R.
X over R. But this is equal to cosine of theta, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about cosine of alpha? Cosine of alpha is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. This is equal to y over r, which is basically sine of theta. So, but we know that, alpha is just pi half minus theta, right? Right? So,
Mhm.
hence, so what we observe here, so what we observe is that so from this, we know that sine of pi half, because alpha is pi half minus theta. Sine of pi half minus theta is equal to cosine of theta. And cosine of pi half minus theta is equal to sine of theta. Okay, is that
Mhm.
clear?
Yes.
So that's another important identity or fact about trigonometric functions. Okay, so I'm going to list something we have learned so far. So some useful identities. So first is the sine and cosine are periodic with period 2 pi. And then sine is an odd function. Sine of minus theta is minus times sine theta, but cosine is even. And then we have some, if you have pi minus theta, then this is equal to sine of theta, but cosine of pi minus theta is equal to minus cosine of theta. So I want you to convince yourself that these two, that the last two identities are true. If you cannot convince yourself, come and talk with me, okay?
Mhm.
I will show you why these are correct. And also about these new identities that I'm going to write. Sine of pi plus theta is minus sine theta, and cosine of pi plus theta is minus cos theta. And we just saw that sine of pi half minus theta is equal to cos of theta, and cosine of pi half minus theta is equal to sine. I mean, these identities, you don't have to memorize. You can see them, you can visualize them. If you cannot, come and talk to me, okay?
Mhm.
I will show you. You just need to look at the unit circle. Okay, guys. So just some few examples of. For example, if you want to find sine of 3 pi over 4, what is sine of 3 pi over 4? 3 pi over 4 is nothing but pi minus pi over 4, right?
Mhm.
So sine of pi minus pi over 4 is just equal to sine of pi over 4, according to this identity. Sine of pi minus theta is equal to sine of theta. So this is equal to sine of pi over 4, which is equal to root 2 over 2. How about cosine of 7 pi over 6? Can someone tell me? So first, what is 7 pi over 6?
Pi plus pi over 6.
It's pi plus pi over 6.
Oh, oh.
Yes, that's right. So cosine of pi plus theta, you see it's here, is minus cosine of theta. So that's equal to minus cosine of pi over 6. So this is equal to minus square root of 3 over 2. If I ask you cosine of, or cosine of 5 pi over 6. So what is 5 pi over 6?
Pi minus pi over 6.
Again, this is minus cosine of pi over 6. Because cosine of pi minus theta, look, it's here, is minus cosine theta. So it's minus cosine of pi over 6. So again, this is equal to minus root 3 over 2. Okay. So these are some just examples. And we talked about the sum of, yesterday we discussed the sum of two angles, or difference of two angles. For example, we saw that sine of A plus B is equal to sine A cos B plus sine B cos A. And cosine of A plus B is equal to cos A cos B minus sine A sine B. And if you have sine of A minus B, if you had sine of A minus B, then this would be just sine A cos B minus sine B cos A. Let me just. So sine of A plus minus B is sine A cos B plus minus sine B cos A. For cosine, cosine of A minus B is again cosine of A cosine of B plus sine of A sine B. Okay. So I wanted you to find the formula. Try to find a formula for tangent of A plus B. So what is the definition of tangent? Tangent is just cosine divided by sine, right? Now you have to use the above identities. What is the cosine of A plus B? Cosine of A plus B is cosine A cosine B minus sine A sine B, right? And sine of A plus B, again, you have to use the above identities. you can say that it's sine A cos B plus sine B cos A. Now, what you can do here?
Simplify sine A and sine, no. You factor out sine A. You do that? No.
Cannot.
Oh, I got it. I got a. Wait. I think. Like divided each term
Oh,
by.
by the way, sorry, something I did wrong. Tangent is equal to sine over cosine. Sorry.
Oh,
Right?
mhm.
My mistake. So tangent is sine over cosine. So sine of A plus B is equal to sine A cos B plus sine B cos A. And cosine of A plus B is what? Is cos A cosine B minus sine A sine B.
I think we can. I think we can divide it each terms by cosine A, cosine B.
Very good. Good idea. If you divide by cosine A cosine B, good idea. So you divide divide both top and bottom by cos A cos B. So let me copy this and go to the next page. So let's divide by cos A cos B. So this is tangent of A plus B. So equal. So you have sine A cos B divided by cos A cos B plus sine B cos A divided by cos A cosine B divided by cosine A cosine B minus sine A sine B over cosine A cosine B, right?
It seems crazy.
Okay. No, it's not. Because now you can simplify.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, for the first, you have cosine, they cancel out each other. Right? This cancel out with this. And also cosine A cancel out with this. So on the top, you get what? So this is equal to sine A over cos A plus sine B over cos B divided by. Now cos A cos B over cosine A cosine B is just 1. So 1 minus sine A sine B over cosine A cosine B, right? Now, what you can see, something is coming. What is this guy? This is tangent of A.
Tension.
This is tangent of
B.
B. Again, this is tangent of A.
A.
This is tangent of B, right? So that means tangent of A plus B is equal to what? Tell me.
Tension A plus tension B divided by 1 minus tension A times tension B.
Exactly. Clear? Everyone, is it clear what we did?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. So now I want you, so, and by the way, so this is for tangent of A plus theta. Now it's good to, because you know sine of A plus B and cosine of A plus B. So from here, there are some implications. So for example, what is sine of 2 times theta? Sine of 2 times theta is just sine of theta plus theta, right? So these are called double angle formula. So like sine of theta, cosine of 2 theta, sine of 2 theta. So try to find a formula. I want you now to do this. So what is sine of 2 theta? Sine of 2 theta is sine of theta plus theta. So can you give me a formula? Just use this identity. So you have theta plus theta.
2 times sine A times sine B.
No, there is no AB. It's only theta.
Theta. 2 times sine theta times cosine theta.
Exactly. Because it's sine theta, cosine theta, plus again sine theta, cosine theta. So it's 2 times sine theta, cosine theta. Right? So now can you do the same thing for cosine? I want you. Everyone, please try. Peter, you do it. Okay. Here you go. Yusin, tell me. Or Andy. Okay. Andy, do you hear me? No, I was like. You're done?
Did you call me?
Andy? Andy is here?
No, I'm in my home.
Yeah. Okay, so can you tell me what is cosine of 2 theta?
Which one?
Cosine of 2 theta. 2 times double angle. So if you use this formula, cosine of A plus B is cosine A cosine B minus sine A sine B, then is cosine of theta plus theta is equal to cosine theta times cosine theta minus sine theta times sine theta. So cosine of 2 theta would be equal to cosine square of theta minus sine square of theta. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And remember that, or recall, so we know that sine square plus cosine square is what? Sine
Is
square
1.
of theta is equal to 1. This is the most important formula you should know.
Mm-hmm.
Sine square plus cos square is 1. Okay? So if you want to use this formula, so you can say, for example, from this formula, you can say that so cos square of theta is equal to 1 minus sine square of theta. Or you can say that sine square of theta is equal to 1 minus cos square of theta. Okay. Now, if you want to use this to apply it to the cosine of 2 theta, then you have cosine of 2 theta is equal to, if I write sine square of theta, by the way, this is square. Try not to confuse square with the double angle. Sine square is different from sine 2 theta. Okay. This is a power. Okay. So if we want to use this formula for cos of 2 theta, so if I write sine square of theta as 1 minus cos square, so I get cos square of theta minus 1 minus, because this is sine square, 1 minus cos square of theta. So here I get 2 times cos square of theta minus 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So cos of 2 theta is 2 times cos square of theta minus 1. So that means 1 plus cos of 2 theta over 2 is equal to what?
Cosine squared beta.
Cosine square of theta. Okay. So 1 plus cos 2 theta over 2, let me write it again here. 1 plus cosine of 2 theta divided by 2 is equal to cosine square of theta. I mean, that's some useful formula. Okay. Now I give you some homework, but please do your homework. Maybe just do it now, right now. Prove that let me give you some proofs. Prove that cosine x minus sine x divided by cosine x plus sine x is equal to secant of 2x minus tangent of 2x. This is A. For B, prove that 1 minus cosine of 2 theta over 2 is equal to sine square of theta. I give you 5 minutes to complete this.